Hi everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back. I'm Rika and this is Rika Life. So today we're going to do another WIP and yarn chat session. So grab a work in progress of yours, grab a beverage, and let's get settled in. You may be seeing some new things in today's video. So this video is going to come out in the middle to third week of July. And by then this will be old news, but I did not finish my challenge of using 50 balls of yarn before I bought more yarn. There is more yarn. I, I kept seeing everyone's posts about the Hobby Lobby clearance, and I just really wanted to jump on that. So I called my store yesterday and they said, yes, we have yarn on clearance. So I went over. It had looked like someone else had already gone through and taken a lot of the yarn because there were entire shelves that were empty. But I did get some yarn, so I got a couple different yarns. I got 1, 2, 3 different types of yarns and a couple of colorways. And it's old news by now, so I won't share them with you because they are all discontinued. I had watched other people's videos and even like taken screenshots of the things I wanted to look for there, and they had none of it. So I'm still very happy with my purchases. Every ball of yarn I bought was under $2, so that was good. What else? So my other challenge was to use up all the kind of older yarn before I went into my yarn closet. That also finished, and I was like, I need to make new things. I need to use my new yarn. So in today's session, I'm going to be using Big Twist Rave, and this is the color Light Bright. It is so beautiful. And if you've guessed what I'm going to be making today, I am going to be making another shawl. I'm on a huge shawl kick right now. I'm just making shawls left and right, and you would have seen that if you've been watching the last couple videos because I'm making shawls and sharing shawls in all of them. So I guess shawls are more of a, wow, look at that. Look what came out. I guess shawls are more of a fall thing, but I love the colors and I love the pattern that I have. So I am just doing that. I think I'm going to turn on my light. Let me just see if I can reach it. Okay, that's a lot better, I think. So this is my yarn barf, and I'm just trying to find the beginning. Hopefully I can find it soon. Let me know down below in the comments what you're working on today. I would love to know what you're making in the middle to end of July. What is keeping your interest? Well, wow, oh, there it is. Okay. So do let me know what you're making in the comments. It's always really exciting to know what are other people making because we all have such varied interests and different priorities and just the tension on our hands, if we're having pain in our hands, whether that kind of sometimes determines whether we like to use the lighter yarns or the bulkier yarns. So I have been working on a couple things behind the scenes. So I have been making some of that yarn I just bought from Hobby Lobby. I'm making, I guess you could call them like ear warmer type things, or more like a headband, not an ear warmer. So I have been making those. I've already made 2. I'm on my 3rd. And those will be gifts for family. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I'm just starting the shawl, so I'm just kind of like counting to make sure I don't mess it up right in the beginning. So I think I just talked about this shawl in my previous video, and it's called the Annabelle shawl by Crystal over at Bago de Crochet. It is so easy and it is so beautiful, and I've just been trying out like every yarn with this pattern. Now I'm trying out the Big Twist Rave, and I think this is going to be good too. This yarn is recommending a 4.5 millimeter hook, a US 7. I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook, US I9. I went up because to me this yarn feels, it is a worsted weight number 4, but it feels on the thicker side, so that's why I went up. I'll tell you a bit about the yarn. It's 100% premium acrylic, 312 yards, 285 meters, 5.3 ounces, or 150 grams. It's a medium 4 weight. Recommends a 4.5 millimeter hook, machine washable, dry flat. And then they've actually given the numbers here based on what kind of project you want to make. So if you want to make a blanket, it'll take 4. For an adult wearable, it will take 3. For a scarf or a hat, it will take 1 ball each. So it's kind of nice that they've put this on the band. What else? It's made in Turkey. This is a Big Twist. So Big Twist Rave. This is Joanne's home brand, house brand. And I made, this is only my second time using it now. I made my bucket hat tutorial with this yarn. And that bucket hat turned out enormous, but when I did it with regular worsted or DK weight, it was perfectly fine. So I think it's just I used a bigger hook size, and this yarn is like a little bit on the bigger side of a worsted weight. So that's why I think it turned out a little bit too big for me. But I feel like everyone has like a different head size. So you know, even the first hat that I designed. So now I've designed, I think 3 hats. So my first one was the Dreamy Beanie hat. And then after that, I designed the Fresh Air hat. And then I designed the Summer Bright Bucket hat, something like that. They're all on my channel. In the tutorials playlist, you'll see them there. And those ones all have written pattern as well. And that's available on Ravelry, so you can follow the links. All the links are in the description box below of every video that I make, so you can find all of that there. There were a few things I was thinking of changing, so I have closed my Shopify store. That was a pretty steep monthly price tag to run that. So now I'm considering either a few things. So one thing is to join Etsy and to sell like my actual makes on there. And I know some people do that. So I need to spend some time, hopefully over the summer, researching and seeing like how are people selling, what are the price points, what kind of items sell, just to get to know it. So I know of a few other crocheters who are also on YouTube who have Etsy stores. So my plan is to kind of go onto their store and just like basically use it as research and try and learn what are they doing, what exactly is happening, how's it all presented to the end consumer, you know. So I just want to find out all of that before I just kind of jump into it, because of course being on any of these platforms is a lot of work, and there's probably also fees associated with that. So yeah, I will be looking into that to see whether that's something I'd like to do. The other alternative, of course, if I want to sell my originals, is to be at craft shows and be at markets. Because I won't be here for July in US, I'll be in Canada. So I'm not sure how much I could prepare for fall stuff, but I guess I'd have the month of August, so that is there. I haven't really made it my thing to be at craft shows, and I feel like the kind of things I make are not necessarily things that really sell at craft shows. Like right now I like making blankets, shawls, mandalas, sometimes hats, mostly for donations though. And then most of the people that I've seen who do craft shows, they're making like amigurumi and plushies and things like that. Like they're making little toy type things, which are very like impulse buys, and I'm not making those. So I don't want to like jump into anything without having thought through it. I really want to like decide and then kind of move methodically, I guess you could say. For now, I really enjoy buying yarn. I really enjoy using my yarn. I love donating things. Um, and it is, it is a hobby of mine, but, my patterns are paid patterns, and I really enjoy that part of crocheting. I think being a designer is very rewarding, and having tutorials on YouTube is very rewarding. To be able to teach someone how to do something on YouTube is just, it's a really wonderful feeling. So I enjoy this role that I have on YouTube. I feel like it's such an amazing platform. So I would like to continue doing what I'm doing right now. Um, by the time this video comes out, you may or may not have seen what I'm dubbing my beginner series. So I don't know the order in which these videos will come, but I am starting a beginner series because I'm teaching my daughter how to crochet. So I'm going to start with the basics: how to make a slip knot, how to do chains, single crochets, double crochets. Right now I'm teaching her how to do the moss stitch because she knows how to chain and she knows how to do single crochets. So I'm teaching her how to do the moss stitch, just making a little square. And I think that's really good practice. So I have a couple of ideas of kind of items that people can make, and they'll just be hopefully not too long tutorials, and I'll be sharing, my best tips and tricks for beginners. I'll be sharing how to start and how to make little projects. So I'm thinking of making like maybe a bookmark or making a coaster. Like, I'd like people to be able to make a square. I'd like them to be able to make a circle as well. I think that's very necessary with crochet because not everything is a square or rectangle. So, and especially if you want to make things like this, um, then it's important to know how to work in the round, how to make a circle. So I am working on all that behind the scenes, and you may have already seen some of that. You may not have. But that is something that I wanted to do this summer, and kind of create that space for the beginners and allow them to have um, something to follow. And just, I know there's a million how-to beginner videos on YouTube. Why not just try another way? Just do my take on it and see um, how I can teach that and how I can help others get started. So I'm very excited about that. That's something new that I definitely want to do. And I'm recording this in advance, and hopefully before I go on my trip, I will have a chance to record some of that content. Otherwise, you'll definitely be seeing like one video per week from me, which is kind of this long form content, which I'll have recorded beforehand. And then you might be seeing like a shorter 5 or 10 minute video from me, just kind of checking in. And yeah, I plan to still have 2 videos a week. I'll also be making shorts and things like that. So sorry, I just want to make sure I didn't. Yeah, that's fine. These stitches are a little bit thick, I want to say. So I'm using an I 5.5. I probably could have used a J hook. I don't know. What do you think? I think the stitch definition is pretty good so far. I think it's okay. It's looking good. I mean, a J could have worked as well, but this is not bad. This is my second time using this yarn. It feels good to me. So I bought it in like 5 or 6 colorways, just one cake of each. So I'm very excited to make more things with this. I'm kind of, we'll find out later, but I'm kind of trying to figure out how will I take my crochet things with me on my trip, because I feel like my suitcase is going to be full of clothes. So I don't really know. Or I just take less clothes and just wear like my mom's and sister's clothes. I don't know. I guess that's always an option. So for my kids, I'll have to take their clothes because there's no one else really close in age that they can borrow clothes from. So for them, I'll need to take. But of course, adult clothes take up more space in the suitcase. So I think I'll need to be more careful what I take. Ideally, we just take like one suitcase, but I don't know if that's possible. So we'll have to see. Anyways, I would love to know what you're doing this summer, what you're working on, if you have any summer plans, um, what you've been up to. So let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, so in case you don't know, I might have mentioned this, I'm not sure, but I see a therapist regularly, and I just had a session like yesterday, so that's why it's kind of fresh in my mind. And it's just so helpful. I feel like that time that you get to speak to someone, and someone who is, you know, a not a biased party, is not someone who's known you your whole life, is not someone who's your relative or your spouse. It's just, I really love that space that I get to uncover my feelings and to discover what I'm thinking. And I find it so, so helpful. So I definitely recommend, like talk therapy for people. And the service I use is called Talkspace, and it's available online. It's like a virtual room that you go into with your therapist, and then you talk, and it's really good. The reason I mentioned it is because I kind of feel like my whole mindset about my journey is kind of, my health journey and so on is kind of evolving. And I, I want to do certain things. I want my family to be a certain way. I want our health to be a certain way. And I feel like in these past so many years, I've tried so hard to like have checklists and have goals lists, and um, you know, kind of like not demotivating, but I haven't been approaching it from a place of love. That's what I want to say. So now I'm kind of changing my whole thinking. It's like a whole like 180 that I'm doing, 180-degree turn, and I feel like kind of liberated because I'm replacing some of my old thoughts and some of my, those pre-programmed things that have been going around in my mind forever, and really telling myself that, things are good, I am blessed, I'm happy, and, telling myself that I love myself, working on my self acceptance and my self worth and all of that. Um, so it's been quite a journey. The therapy is helping me, writing in my journal has been helping me. And by the time you see this video, I will have had my birthday. So my birthday was on July 11th, and I turned 40 years old. So it's kind of like a turning point for me. And now, with the help of my therapist, I feel like mentally my mindset is a turning point for me as well. Um, I want to love myself into my life. I want to have a joyful life. I want to have happiness, but I don't want to um, beat myself into that. I want it to be very natural. I want it to be a happy journey. So that's what I'm working on. And that's kind of why I explained earlier that I want to really evaluate my options with my crocheting. I want to really see what is it that I'd love to do. And one thing I know for sure is that I would love to have like one custom order per month. Like every month I could have one custom order, and that would make me so happy. So in the case that I choose that as a goal, then I need to work towards making that happen. And I love that. Like the times, I think this year so far, I've had a couple, and last year, and they were so fun to do. And I really enjoyed it. They were both baby blankets, I think. The ones from this year and last year, they were all baby blankets that I did. But I haven't really been putting my energy into that. So far, I've been putting a lot of energy into just making things. But I'd like to figure out how, this could be more of a business on the makes side. Because for designing and making patterns and things like that, I have Ravelry and I've been using that and I love that platform. I really do love Ravelry. So I just need to figure all that out. Um, I think a couple days ago, my son took a really long nap. So me and my daughter and I, I like redid this room. So not my other arts things that are in the bins beside me, not bins, but drawer sets, but my 4 bins here. I went through the one on the very bottom there, and it had like finished projects that I've just kept, like older ones. And I went through that. I put some other ones in there. I took out like all these plastic bags I had in there, all these extra bags. I went into the corner of my room. I cleaned that. Like I did a lot. And right now I have, so now I literally have like 3 bins full of makes, things that I've made. And I only have like maybe half of one with, with yarn. But of course, I bought all this yarn from Hobby Lobby, so I need to find a space for that. Sorry. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so I did that. My yarn closet is still similar to what it's been like, and I don't plan on really changing anything with that. I'm still keeping. I have some bags at the bottom with like my scrap yarn, and so I have one for worsted weight and DK weight and bulky weight. So I still have those. Oh my gosh, this is looking so pretty. Sorry, I just interrupted my own thought. So my yarn closet is like very exciting right now because all of my new yarn is in there except for this Hobby Lobby stuff, which I plan to just like go gangbusters with and just use it all up this summer. So the only other thing now, I want to go to Joann's because, okay, there's 2 new yarns, but you might have heard of it by this point. There is, Premier has a worsted, anti-pilling worsted everyday gradient yarn. And then Line Brand also came out with a Line Brand mandala gradient yarn. They both are very different in terms of how the color is saturated and how the ombre effect is made, or the gradient effect, I guess. But I really want to try the Line Brand one. So I really want to go to Joann's and just buy like at least 3 or 4 of those colors. And those are worsted weight yarns. I'm so excited for that. And I think, honestly, once I have that, hopefully that'll be enough yarn for me for the whole year. Because, I mean, there's really no end to buying yarn, but there is an end to the amount of space you have for putting in your yarn, and right now that closet is full. Of course, these bins have makes in them, so 2 of those bins could be empty. I could donate all those things within like a week, and 2 bins would be empty. And then again, I would have space for more yarn. So it's like this cycle where I make a whole bunch of things and then I either gift them or keep them as gifts and then donate some things. It's been really nice because my husband's been asking me, like, can you give me a shawl by this day? Can you give me a shawl by that day? And it just so happened that, I'm on this shawl kick. So I've just been making them like left and right. And so every time he asked me for one, I was like, sure, here it is. And he was so surprised. And then he was so funny. He was asking me, I think I was telling him something about my WIPs or something. And he was like, why are you starting more projects when you have things you haven't finished? And I was like, huh? And he meant weaving in the ends. So that's his little pet peeve about my crocheting, is that when I finish something, I don't immediately weave in the ends. I just leave them and then weave them in like when I'm ready to, give it somewhere. But I've been really good about that. So everything that's in these bins, all the ends have been woven in. So maybe like there's one of those older projects that doesn't have it. But yeah, I think I wanted to change something on my couch. I think I did. Yeah, I changed one of my, so I changed two things actually. So I have a, like a mandala. I think it's called Rings of Change. It was by Frank Orlando. I don't know if he still has his store. His store was called Made of Change, and that was on Ravelry. He was also active on Facebook. He used to have a group and things, but I don't think he's doing crocheting anymore. But he has really, really nice patterns. So his, I think it's his mini Rings of Change. That's the one that used to be on my up on my wall, and that is the worsted weight, and that is 4 colors. So I had white, yellow, orange, and like a red, kind of like a red, more like a pink. Yeah, I think it's pink. And those 4 colors kept repeating with that pattern. It's not a very huge mandala. I think it is bigger than this one, but I took that down and I put up another mandala that I have. And then I had a blanket or a throw on the back of my couch, and I took that off and I put, did I put something else there? I took that down. Now I can't even remember. I'll have to go in the other room and check. That's how great my memory is. But anyways, so I have been kind of making these small little changes and just like moving things around, and it feels good. With my things that I organized in this room, I had a bag of like all these little projects that I had finished. So I've kept some of them in the yarn closet. A few of them I frogged. A few of them I literally threw in the trash because they were so small that there was no point in frogging them. Some of them are like tiny little coaster sized mandalas and just like really, really small things that I don't think I would, gift to anyone. And I don't think it can become into a bigger project because I don't even have that yarn anymore. So, oh my gosh, guys, I need to get better at taking pictures of my projects. I take pictures sometimes like when it's in progress, or um, I'll share it with you here on the channel. All these shawls that I've been sharing with you, like most of them are either already gone or they're already in this bin. And once something's in this bin, I rarely would take a picture of it. So I need like this constant reminder to take pictures of my work because I would like to remember what it is that I made this year. Um, I have an idea for kind of some of the videos over the summer, and I was thinking of um, just sharing some of the projects that I've made in the past. So I do have a couple of videos where I've compiled like pictures of all these things I've made, but I think they're a little bit older pictures. So I'm gonna see if I can make a new video like that for this year. I'll try. I don't know. It's so hard digging through like old photos on my phone. I have a lot on my phone. I had to delete a whole bunch of videos because I needed space to record all of this content for the summer. So I've had to delete a whole bunch of things. A good part of it was I deleted a whole bunch of old videos. So I even had like the very first video I made on my channel, which was now like over 150 videos before this one. I had that very first video from, I think it was April 19th, 2023. I had that original video on my phone, and I think, I'm not sure if I kept it or I deleted it, but, oh, sorry. In the beginning, my videos were very short. They were like 10 to 15 minutes. And now, because, my kids were in school, my videos were longer. Right now, my son is sleeping. That's why this video is happening. Oh my gosh, this is looking so nice. Look at that. These colors, like, okay, this color is like a blend, but it's making it look like it's a different kind of purple. It's picking up the color really well. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh my god. Yep, that's how it looks. Oh, take a nice photo. Oh my gosh, this is not even like big enough to take a photo. Like, let me see. I have all these, like, this is the one I just started. Like this. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, this could be like, this looks like a little bandana right now, but it's going to be a shawl. And this is how much I've used. Barely anything, and I'm already here. So I'm hoping it was, I think 312 yards. I'm hoping that's sufficient for a shawl. I feel like now that I've made so many, I prefer I think at least 350 to 400 yards is good for a shawl. Otherwise, sometimes they're a little bit small, but that also depends on the hook size. So, I mean, this is a little bit dense. I might have gone up to a J6 millimeter. I guess I could still do that now. Let me see if I think I have one sitting right here. Okay. Yeah, I do. So this is a little bit bigger though. It might change the size of the project. So maybe what I can do is, because I started this granny row, maybe I can just finish that row and then I could switch to the bigger hook size. So I'll just tell you a little bit about the pattern. So this is the Annabelle shawl, and what we're making is we do 5 rows of the granny stitch followed by 3 rows of double crochets, and then we go back to the granny stitch for 5 more rows, and that's it. It's just this really simple repeat, and I'm loving it. If you like the shawl, look at my last few videos. I've been sharing a bunch of them. So okay, reminder to self, take more photos of my things. I'm going to leave you with that today. I hope you got to make some progress on your work in progress. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I hope you have a wonderful crochetful day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.